So Godzilla King of the Monsters is being written and directed by Mr. Michael Daugherty, and if you're not too familiar with his filmography, he was responsible for Trick or Treat, which came out in 2007, and also Krampus, which debuted in 2015. And this film here is the third film in the Warner Brothers shared giant monster universe, following the Godzilla 2014 film and also Kong Skull Island, which came out in 2017. Now, me personally, I was not a fan of the Godzilla 2014 film. It was disappointing to me because it was a Godzilla film and you really didn't have that much Godzilla in it or Godzilla fighting, so that was disappointing. But Kong Skull Island, which I have right here, I thoroughly enjoyed with Tom Hiddleston, Samuel Jackson, Jason Mitchell. It was a ton of fun and made me look forward to this third film that much more. And what this film is about, Godzilla King of the Monsters, are giant titans emerging from the earth, trying to seek global dominance over the other. And we all want to know, how were these fights? Did Godzilla kick a whole bunch of ass? Stay tuned. Hey everyone, it's Brandon Avery here, and I want to thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Just My Opinion. And this is your first time finding me, please consider subscribing and also clicking the little bell so you can be notified when I make uploads. So I went into this film with high expectations. I really did love Kong Skull Island. I thought it was a lot of fun, and I was just saying to myself, hey, if we can get more of that film with more monsters, hey, we're in for a fun time. And the first thing that I like about this film is the question that the film asks you as an audience member. And that question is if you have power, if you have ability to overcome all, does that make you God? I mean, where does your moral line begin and end? Where does your moral compass start and stop? Now, the next thing that I loved about this film is how all the governments around the world are working together. It makes perfect sense. If you have titans globally waking up, destroying everything in their sight, it will make sense for all the world governments to work together and everyone put their differences aside. Now, if you've seen the previous films, you know that there is an organization called Monarch, which is their own separate faction over here working kind of under the government, but not really. And this company, they have all the research, they have all the data, they have all the knowledge and necessary tools and resources to make the situation the best that it possibly could be. There are a lot of disagreements between groups within this film on trying to find a resolution, but I like that because of the dialogue that was presented in this film. People giving their ideas and just trying to work things out for the greater good of everyone. And I love those type of things within films. And as far as the cast is concerned, it was very well cast, and the characters, they did a great job in the film as well. And me personally, with my particular taste, I love it when the film has a nice blended cast and there's representation all over the place. Now, I don't want that necessarily shoehorned into a film. No, and it's not shoehorned in here. It makes sense. This is a global event. So you have a nice blended cast. You have a nice good mixture of black people, brown people, yellow people, and white people. And everybody kind of has their moment to shine. And the two main characters that had majority lines in this film was Vera Farmiga and Carl Chandler. And I love what they did with this couple in this film. They are an ex-married couple. They had a tragedy, and it really did drive a wedge in between their marriage and creates the characters that we're seeing today in this film. I love the motivation that they used to move their characters forward that had to do with their daughter. And you're attached to what these characters care about, which makes you enjoy the film that much more. Now, I was a big fan of the original Transformers film, which came out, I believe, in 2007. But something that film franchise failed upon is they put the Transformers characters as secondary characters and had the humans leading the cause. That is not the case with this film, Godzilla King of the Monsters. The monsters are the main characters, and while the human characters, they do have a good say as well in a lot of screen presence, but the human characters are the side characters in this film, and they also have a nice subplot within them that also enhances the main characters, which is the monsters. And I love the way that all that is infused together, and it just makes the film that much more enjoyable. Now, a lot of you may not care about the story and you may not care about the characters. A lot of you just want to go in here because you want to see a bunch of monsters beating the hell out of each other. You want to see cities destroyed. You want to see explosions, atomic breath, lightning, all all that good stuff, and this film does deliver that to you. Next thing that I loved about this film is just how giant these monsters are and the way the film is shot and the scale that they use to show you how big they are. I mean, there are some shots in this film where they have Godzilla, the three-headed dragon winged beast, where his head is on the ground right next to a human being. So you get to see how big a human is compared to this giant monster, and it's kind of breathtaking. Also, I was just looking up research. They have Godzilla in this film standing at 391 feet tall, but they have Godzilla at like 571 feet. And so that's just a big difference in size there, but it also makes up for a nice epic badass throwdown towards the end of this film, which I found pretty entertaining. And I love the way it's shot. You have a lot of wide shots of, like, you know, Godzilla way over here and Godzilla way over here, and just seeing them run at each other and clash like this. This is like, oh my God, this is exactly what I came to see. And like I said, the fights are nice. We get Godzilla using his atomic breath a few times. We get Godzilla doing his lightning thing a few times as well. We have Rodan flying nowhere, you know, doing barrel rolls in the sky, taking out fighter planes, and Martha using her powers and things like that. It's cool. You know, I'm loving it all. I'm eating it all up. This is exactly what I wanted to see. I mean, we had one time where, you know, someone was trying to attack another monster and they Harlem shaking, dodging the beams and things like this. I'm like, okay, these are not just stagnant monsters as mobile as a Statue of Liberty. They can move. They're pretty elusive, and that just makes it that much more entertaining. And I, you know, it's just some things that I wasn't expecting. So let's go ahead and talk about the bad, because there is some bad in this film that I have to discuss. One of the things that really frustrated me towards the end was when we was right at the epic showdown of these monsters about to beat the crap out of each other. I felt at this time in the film still spent too much time focusing on the human characters. When the monsters are fighting, I don't want the camera switching back to a character trying to escape, trying to do this, trying to do that. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. As I was watching this, I'm like, I understand what they're trying to do, but this is pointless right here. That we don't need to see this right now. We don't need to see this anymore. Just get them off camera. Like there's just no point. You know, it really doesn't make any sense. It does not add up to me, and it was just very, very frustrating because I wanted to see more fighting, but I saw more humans running. Also, while majority of the characters in this film were smart and did not make any dumb decisions, towards the end, one of the main characters made one of the dumbest decisions imaginable, and I just don't understand. And it is one of the reasons why the epic fight at the very end wasn't as good as it could have been and left me a little bit disappointing. I mean, like, if you have a device that can attract the monsters and you want to do that, okay, use it. But don't just stand there and wait for the monsters to come destroy everything around you, you big dodo dumbass. Get the hell out of Dodge. And I just don't understand that. I mean, if I know a tornado is coming this way, I'm going to get out of the way of the tornado. I'm not just going to go hide over here and wait for the tornado to get here, then decide to run. That is just beyond stupid. I'm just like, oh my God, what the hell are they doing? And the last thing is, we have all these monsters, all these giant titans emerging from the earth, going around wrecking shop. And the reason that this film used for them to wake up really didn't do it for me. I wish they would have used another plot device to wake all these monsters up or give the reason to why they're waking up. Like I said, I understand what the characters were trying to do in this film, but I just don't agree with that direction. Now, while I did enjoy the film overall and found it very entertaining, I'm still a little disappointed with how the final showdown, the final action scene turned out. It just wasn't exhilarating enough. It didn't have enough heart-pounding, nonstop action that I wanted. If I had to rate Godzilla King of the Monsters out of a 1 out of 10, I would give it a 7.5 out of 10. Yes, a 7.5 out of 10. But guys, that is just my opinion. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you liked the video, please give me the thumbs up and also consider subscribing and clicking the little bell so you can be notified when I make uploads. Please look me up on social media, and down in the comments, let me know that you prefer Godzilla 2014 or Kong Skull Island 2017 better. But guys, before you go, don't forget that my name is Brandon Keith Avery, and that's just my opinion. Peace.